I'm an architecture student. I've never worked a construction site.
You just don't touch anything.
You get a soda machine up here or nothing?
No soda machine.
But for the next week, I get an all-access pass to every job on the new Arizona Cardinals Stadium project.
Rookies.
And what a project. Retractable fabric roof, America's first movable field. 600 workers all pushing towards a deadline in 110-degree heat.
Get over here.
That's me, Danny Forster.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
I hope I don't break anything. The Arizona Cardinals are the only team in the National Football League to play in a college stadium.
So I'm sitting here at the Arizona Cardinals' old stadium. It's about an hour before game time, and it's already extremely hot. It's so hot that you can fry an egg. Okay, you can't fry an egg. This is a rubber egg, but it is really hot. You can melt chocolate.
But after 15 years of struggle in the desert, the entire Cardinals organization and their fans are in for a radical change. The most revolutionary new stadium in America. Architect Peter Eisenman and the stadium design firm HOK have reinvented the football stadium. From the world's first curved panel roof to ride the slope of a stadium dome for those 115-degree days in the desert, to America's first movable field. Yeah, I'm being serious. The entire natural grass gridiron drives into the stadium on game day, soaking up the unobstructed Arizona sun the rest of the year to create the perfect playing surface. And when the game is over, it drives right back out, so that Shania Twain, the monster truck rallies, and the rodeo can rock the house whenever they want, without wrecking the grass. But can America's most extreme stadium be built on time? The stadium is about 70% complete, and everybody's working at once to meet the Cardinals' opening day deadline of August 1st, 2006. T-minus 11 months and counting. Parallel process, they call it. 17 different trades, 600 workers, all on the job at the same time. If I'm going to try and hang with these guys,
Okay.
I'm going to have to deal with my fear of heights.
Today's going to be one of those personal challenge, you can do it Danny days. We're not going into the stadium. We're going on top of the stadium. You have to walk up a lot of stairs, up a ladder. I'm afraid of heights, so, it seems pretty high.
Harness go up top.
This is JT. His real name is James Thomas, but nobody calls him that. He runs the roof crew, and he's got my life in his hands.
I've been dreaming about this all night. In fear, that is. Whoa! Ho, ho, ho. Now what? Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, so, onto the roof. Ladders aren't that stable.
You can keep going.
Oh my God.
I'm just gonna run out of handrail. You'll be fine. I always got your back. You're doing good.
This is incredible. This is incredible.
You don't want to do that. You won't look good doing that on camera.
All right. Where to now?
Just stand up and walk on up there.
It's not easy getting up here.
Look around here. Our guys are installing another large panel over here. We're down to our last two large panels on the stadium.
They're putting on the fabric over here?
Yeah, they're installing some of the fabric panels.
So that's it right here. This is that stuff that looks translucent from below.
Correct, yeah. This is actually fiberglass and Teflon.
Can I touch it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Feels like a trampoline.
This stuff is sweet.
Birder has been around for more than 50 years. It gets its name from its inventor, Mr. Walter Bird. Here's Walt now, sitting atop the radome. This is an old school version of Bird Air, basically a big rubber ball wrapped around an antenna. So Birder has made all types of ridiculous fabric roofs possible, from the Millennium Dome in London to the Denver Airport, the Georgia Dome, and the Carrier Dome in Syracuse, New York. This is durable, it is lightweight, and it is strong. The question I have is, can I walk on it?
Actually, we'll be fine. This stuff's good for about 17,000 pounds per square foot.
I weigh about $160.
Oh, yeah, you're fine. Just step on up there. I'll walk with you. I got your back again.
All right.
You're all good.
Oh my God. So
Okay.
now,
Just walk right on out here.
and this below me is the entire drop of the stadium. So the field is 200 feet below me at this point?
Correct.
Oh my God. So now I'm standing on a trampoline.
A trampoline.
Look at that. It's got actual give to it.
And you're standing on something that's about as thick as your jeans.
I've had my trampoline filled for today, JT. Thank you for the experience.
You're doing fine.
Now, to get where the crew is at work, JT's got me walking on what they call a Brunel truss. Two 700-foot-long, football-shaped steel arches that hold up the entire roof. These puppies are big. 1 million pounds apiece, and 87 feet high in the center. They were assembled on the ground and then jacked up to roof level. With the steel roof frame added on, the card set the record for North America's largest, longest, and heaviest superlift. Now, just to be clear, I am on top of the truss, and that's the ground.
That is a very loud shaking noise.
That's just the cable tray. Just had a little flex in it.
A little flex in it, huh?
You're fine. Okay.
There it is! There's the emergency stop button. I wish we could press that on my experience right now. JT, if I press that, will I wake up in my hotel room? He pressed it. Yeah, he's having a good time. This is your crew working right now?
Standing around for the moment.
This is your crew not working right now?
Well, they're setting up the rigging right now, getting ready to put this other fabric paneling over this open structure.
So how do they do it? How do they get out there?
They walk out there.
The bird air sections are basically gigantic bed sheets, custom fit for the asymmetrical design that the architect laid out. This section is 170 by 80 feet, and it weighs 4,000 pounds, wrapped in plastic.
Just like unwrapping a Christmas gift.
That's Brian Begay, iron worker, great guy.
Right now we're getting this unrolled, and we're gonna pull it uphill. And once we get it pulled uphill, from one corner to the next, we're gonna put tension on it and fasten it.
The iron workers seem to have totally conquered their fear of heights. Now keep in mind, they're standing on girders that are 3 inches wide, directly above a 200-foot drop.
All right.
You ready to go?
Yeah, that's great. All
Give
right.
them a morning break.
Okay, hey, let Dan take up. Dan slack. Want to slide the whole thing this way? All right, go ahead.
It's harder than it looks.
Pull like a girl. Pull.
Did someone just say, pull like a girl? Okay, the section is laid out, but this is the danger point. When it's loose like this, the fabric is essentially a giant sail. A sudden gust of wind would pull a worker right off the roof, along with the fabric. It's never happened on the stadium project, but it has happened.
Oh yeah, we get some pretty. We can get a microburst or an updraft here. It'll get it. So we're trying to get it nailed down as many places as possible to make sure it stays secure and in the position we want it to stay in.
Sweaty fingers make the bolt not go as quickly as you want it to. We're just getting the bolt tight enough. Nothing crazy, but just so as you can see, this whole thing is then safely in there, so now nothing can happen. So at this point, all the guys on all sides are doing just what I just did, getting the thing locked in loose enough but safe enough that they can take a deep breath, then start working on the permanent fastening.
Retractable roof? Check. Retractable field? This I gotta see. But nothing is free on this side.
Concrete's getting in my face.
With opening day less than a year away, there's tons to do to make the Arizona Cardinals' new stadium a reality.
Get over here.
Let's get to work.
Today, I get to be part of the team that's putting together an astonishing piece of engineering. A movable field. So the field is set into what is basically a massive pan of lasagna. You have your drainage system, your sprinkler system, sand, dirt, and from all of that grows fresh, lush green grass. And the whole thing weighs 17 million pounds. Now, how heavy is that? That's as much as every single fan at an NFL game, plus every single player in the NFL. And their mothers. I love you, Mom. It takes one solid set of iron rails to hold up all that weight. But these rails are built in sections. So the challenge is, how do they fuse them together to make a single, indestructible railroad track that's over 1,000 feet long?
Out here 8-10 hours a day sweating our off. Gotta love it.
Rail welders Shane Absalon and Richard Pierce knew that the answer was a tiny volcano with fire hot enough to melt iron. Of course, it didn't happen to mention that I might get burned to a crisp in the process.
So basically, we're gonna fuse together two separate rails right now?
Correct.
We have to make sure we have the right height that way, and then also that it's lined up in this direction here.
Yeah.
Okay.
They set a disposable brick mold onto the rail edges and cover it with an iron jacket.
So this locks it in place?
Yes.
So that when the molten lava comes in, it doesn't spill out?
Lava's a good word for it.
Yeah, see, once you get lined up.
Then, they pack in a special variety of sand for further insulation. Without it, the fire they're about to set is so hot that the iron jacket itself will fuse to the rail.
Oh, God.
Then, unbeknownst to me, they fire up a special blowtorch and set it right down into the mold.
That is so hot. The heat coming out of the wind is so hot.
This was like being at a barbecue, if you live 2 doors down from the sun.
Oh, see? Got any eyebrows left? That's hot. Ready?
Now for the volcano. First, Shane toasts up a marshmallow, an igniter brick. This will help fire up the volcano to come. Shane sets it into place, and here comes the crucible canister, filled with welding powder.
You can go this way because the wind's going to be...
It's the key to the whole operation.
That's the material that's getting sparked up?
Yes.
That's like a kid's sparkler.
So that's the sparkler. It's 4th of July.
And this is our fireworks.
Inside the crucible canister, the welding powder rises in temperature to 3,500 degrees Fahrenheit, causing a chemical reaction that turns the powder to heavy molten iron. A plug at the bottom breaks from the heat, and the iron pours down into the mold, fusing together with the heated rails. The powder takes about 30 seconds to get to liftoff.
Oh, there it is.
30 seconds,
All right.
and she's a going.
So now it's all dropped. That's molten steel dropping down. Look at it come out of the sides. Oh my God! You can't even look at it. It's like a volcano going to the bathroom.
Actually, they told me it's aluminum oxide, the waste product from the chemical reaction. And don't throw water in that stuff. It'll blow up in your face.
You just don't touch anything.
Yeah, I won't do that. You have to do this how many times?
182 times.
182 times?
Yes, this goes process all the way into the stadium.
The field needs 13 rail lines of over 1,000 feet. That's almost 3 miles of track. And Shane told me something I literally could not believe. That in Japan, the field at the Sapporo Dome doesn't roll. It floats. Before the field can move in, the artificial grass baseball diamond inside is rolled up into artificial hay bales. Then, the center field bleachers slide out of sight under the grandstand. The field floats in 10 inches off the ground and turns 90 degrees to get the fans closer to the action. Okay, I believe it. But I still can't believe it.
Yeah, okay, we are not gonna do that in Arizona. I mean, you got a ton of noise and it makes a lot of dust and frankly, who wants to float a field anyway? Instead, the Cardinals have a far more straightforward solution. Railroad tracks. This thing is gonna ride on 500 wheels. Some as big as a train wheel, others as small as a rollerblade. And the whole system is powered on, get this, 76 horsepower. That is half as much as in a compact car. The trip, 250 yards. The time, yeah, it takes a little over an hour, but who cares? This thing is simple, effective, and affordable. I love it!
After a half hour of waiting for the weld to set and cool a little, Shane and Richard take off the steel jacket and finally let me do something where they thought I wouldn't hurt myself.
But you would have smacked this off there for us.
Just knock
that off there, man.
They were wrong.
Yeah, there you go. Well cooking. Get out. Keep going, man.
You like that?
Knock them round things off on the side, too. You do good work, Daniel. Not much of it, but you do good work. Maybe you do need your gloves, my bad.
Thanks for the heads up.
You know it was hot. I mean, you just see us put a molten lava in there.
That's a fair point. They got me on that one. That's a fair point.
You're the man. You touched molten lava.
Thanks, guys. And so this is the final product. What's so incredible is that entire piece gets whittled off, totally smoothed out, and these two separate pieces are fused together as one piece. It's hot, and you can see this is where they did it. This is one now solid rail put together.
The new Arizona Cardinals football stadium changes colors like a chameleon as the sun moves across the desert sky. The curving steel exterior is meant to resemble a snake coiled on itself. All around the stadium, the skin bends in and out. It's an amazing piece of engineering. What's more amazing is that it's all a trick. The curved steel is actually flat. 8,000 flat rectangular panels, cut and hung to create the illusion of a smooth curve. Matt Motley got me started, telling me to punch a hole into the stadium to hang a panel.
Am I going through the steel? All right. How many holes? Just one hole, all right. So now we got a hole drilled just like I'm hanging a painting. How do you take a flat panel like this and turn it into a curve? Well, the first thing you do is turn sideways. Then stack a bunch of them up. But that just gives you a straight wall. So we kink each one at the joint ever so slightly. Now this may just look like a bunch of kinked panels, but from far away, you see a smooth, curved surface. So that's how you curve from top to bottom. Now curving from side to side, that's where it gets tricky. Because when a second set of panels comes in, the edges don't meet. So each of the 8,000 panels have to be cut in ever so slightly to guarantee a clean, flush joint. These are flat panels that come together to make a coiled snake. Magic. I think we need a little more slack on this. Come on, Matt. Focus up here. Got it in there tight? And that's
Move up one level and repeat 8,000 times. Then you, my friend, have yourself a facade. Uh-oh. We've got company.
Yeah. They're going to be white.
Yeah.
Why is it that we couldn't get a less dark, instead of charcoal, have it like this? That's the problem.
Peter Eisenman, the stadium's brilliant and influential architect. I studied him intensely in school. His buildings are incredible, revolutionary, unique. His inspection began with a caulk line he did not like.
The caulk line there, even if it's white, is going to look stupid. I think it's the wrong color gray. I think it's too dark. It is not nice no matter what color you have it. You can't cut that sucker back.
This is just like getting graded in school.
I mean, this is going to be a fabulous space.
It's great.
You know, the light coming through.
Yeah.
Charlie Pruitt is the one in the hot seat. He's the construction manager, in charge of everything that happens on the building site.
Careful, careful, Charlie. This is strange red, by the way, I think. I don't think this will be a much photographed area, so it doesn't matter to me, and I don't have to be in here. Where's Dan?
right there.
Oh, you can't win them all.
Yeah.
Wow, look at this. I think this thing looks great. To enter here and go up the escalators.
In most stadiums, the big concrete wall is the outer face. But in Arizona, Eisenman ordered up an intricate 26-foot wide latticework of steel. It's this superstructure that supports the curving paneled exterior. And, like all great architects, Eisenman is concerned that every detail match his vision.
I wanted all those guys to be at the same angle. And you see, we missed.
But it's pretty hard to coordinate that with the distances that we were
Yes,
moving
dear.
with.
I know. What I'm saying is, if I wanted to break, we could have.
I know.
And we didn't.
And you
But,
didn't.
You know,
And you're the only guy that's going to know that.
no, you.
Unless they put it on TV.
All right, so what just happened is essentially Peter said that when you look down the space, he wanted to see every single member like this, 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 and this all lined up. So when you look down, you only saw one, just like that. Now, in reality, it didn't work as Charlie told us. One was this angle, one was that angle, one was this angle, so they were slightly off. To make them all be the exact same angle would have meant moving walls, so they made a compromise, and the angles are different. Peter says everyone's going to notice. Charlie says only Peter will notice. I noticed.
I want to spend all my time on the escalators, going back and forth.
You still have to have a ticket to get in.
I know, it's what I've heard. It costs money. But I've been told, Charlie, I'm welcome in the hunt box anytime.
That's probably a close to true statement.
Wow, that was amazing. This project really is a marriage between Peter's vision and Charlie's experience. The crisscrossing grid of steel that wraps the stadium was designed digitally by the architects. But it's built by hand, by the ironworkers of Local 75. This is Neil Crocker Jr. He's been an ironworker forever.
69 I started.
He's retiring, and today's his last day. His son Kevin's his foreman, and I was supposed to hang iron with him, but Kevin wanted his dad to be on TV. Unlike me, Neil's not afraid of heights.
Oh, I'm driving?
Yeah.
In fact, this guy loves it.
You gonna miss it?
Yes. That's the love of my life, besides my wife and kids.
What's the best part about it?
The weather, everything. Everything is the best part of it. This is what I love to do. This is what I do.
What about being up in the air?
Love it.
Really?
You just climb the iron and you run the iron. No harness, no nothing.
So you didn't tie off when you started?
No. I think they started tying off in '88.
Did the whole thing become easier, or did you just become...
No, it became harder for people like me. The guys that weren't used to tying off would forget they were tied off and walk into their lanyard, pull themselves back, pull themselves off the iron, and then they'd just be hanging there. They wouldn't be hurt, you know, their pride would be hurt.
I definitely have a lot of respect for you guys. You're what? Oh my God, this thing is moving so much.
It'll be all right. Take a deep breath.
Thank you, Neil. So this is it, huh? Father, son, last piece of iron, maybe? How's it been working with the kid?
I don't have a problem. He's a lot smarter than I am. I guess he gets that from his mother.
All right, so Neil's got the steel.
Booming? Yeah, boom down.
So Kevin's got it. How's it fit, Neil?
Right there, Kev.
This is Neil's last piece of iron.
Well, you can shake my hand, dude. Past meets future.
Neil was so relaxed up there that I practically forgot about my fear of heights. And then we started back down.
Does it feel good? Does it feel like you're ready to go?
I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. I don't want to admit it, but I am. You know?
How come?
It's time for the younger kids to take over.
Time for your kid to take over, huh?
Well, he has taken over, believe me.
So we're in the safety zone here? Are we okay?
We're all right. We're all right.
You got the lights on there. Should we just boom down a little bit?
Yeah, we're gonna try that. Except it don't want to work. Lovely.
Oh my God.
Oh, you son of a biscuit.
Is that a noise?
That's the bell telling us we're a little overloaded. See, this thing's got a self-leveler on it, and what it is we're over the 500-pound maximum. I weigh 250. What do you go? 160?
$1.60.
145. Okay, see, we're over. We're over on the weight.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we'll be all right. We'll be all right.
Well, what do we need to...
Well, just relax.
Okay.
Just like when you're on the iron, you gotta relax and think it through, okay? It's okay. I promise you.
I trust in you.
Come on, darling. Come on.
We got something. Oh, we're moving down. All right. Beautiful. It is an amazingly comforting feeling to see the building going up behind me. That was scary.
Yeah, I was a bit worried. I'm not gonna lie to you, but
Neil,
I'm not gonna lie to you.
on your last day, we get you up there and we freeze the thing on your last day. I wanted this thing to be a smooth ride up and down.
Well, it's not always that way, though.
Yeah.
Danny, you know, like that's what you prepare for, things like this.
So this lamp right here, this is the boom. These bananas, these are us. This one's Neil, this is our cameraman Jason, and this one here, this is me. So here's what happened. Our boom got overextended, and the basket started to tip. Thankfully, not that much. Now, what we needed to do was bring the boom back and then come down. What we actually did is when we were fully extended, we tried to come down, and that's when that beeping noise came on. We got locked up. Now, eventually, did the right thing. We brought the boom back, we were able to come down, and we found the ground safely. It was then that I changed my pants and went on with my day.
The funny thing was, after cheating death with Neil, I wasn't so worried anymore. In fact, I felt more confident, like my worst fears had been realized and it was gonna be okay. I decided to see as much as I could in a single day. Let's do this.
You see this glass behind me? It is one of many places where they've actually pulled the facade open to let light in. These glass slots let light go from the outside all the way into the center of the building.
And in addition, splitting the building vertically makes it look not just like a snake, but also like the Arizona native barrel cactus. Peter Eisenman. This man is good at architecture. In all, there are 1,041 panels of glass that form the stadium slots, and not one of them weighs less than 1,000 pounds. I'm not lifting it. Instead, a mini crane with humongous suction cups is.
It's battery operated. It's got a vacuum pump on there. And you can hear it.
So, in the movies, when I see the bank robber put the glass, the suction cup on it, and cut the glass around it and go, and then they go take the jewel.
Right.
This is just a bigger version of that?
Exactly.
It's amazing. I think it's in.
That giant stick of butter, that's precast. The concrete base that will hold up 60,000 cardinal red comfy chairs. If I hurry, I can meet it at the top.
Wow, look at that. It's amazing how little force moves the whole thing.
Once you get 28,000 pounds going, it's gonna go.
Are they going to turn that with the rope down there?
Right, the guy with the rope down there is gonna start pulling it and getting it turned to the position that it needs to go.
It's just his hands just grabbing it. 28,000 pounds. It's coming down. Look at that. Look at that precision. It's coming right down on the edge there. How's it look?
I go back about 1/8.
Gotta go back 1/8 of an inch. And that's it?
That's it. All in a day's work.
All in 5 minutes worth.
Ah, the power. Electricity.
This is 15,000 volts, and they're 200 amps per switch.
All right. That means how many houses in Phoenix could be lit and cooled
This
with
switch,
electricity?
this switch could feed about 120 homes.
120 homes off this power.
With air conditioning. This is one of 6 substations here.
Okay. Now, if I touch, it's not. What's gonna happen if
That's
I touch?
not energized right now, so you can touch it.
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm kidding. Rusty, what if something went wrong? What happens?
What if something would happen to this? The electricity would ionize the air around you and you'd have a gigantic fireball. Whoever was working on this would literally get burnt to a crisp.
A gigantic fireball?
Yes.
Like in the movies, like a huge fireball?
Exactly.
Wish I'd done that in a slightly smoother, more muscular motion.
Okay, fun and games aside though, this is a really serious place. They told me never get too comfortable on a construction site. The dangers here are real. That afternoon, a big dust cloud blew across Phoenix and turned the sky over the stadium brown. Everything was about to change. The next morning, the mood had definitely shifted. The ironworkers had spent the day before at the funeral of a comrade. He had died from a fall while hanging iron 9 stories up on a project in downtown Phoenix.
We're all a brotherhood. When one of our brothers gets killed, you know it could have been you. What we do is dangerous. Your mind needs to be clear and you need to be thinking about what you're doing every second, because it's the half second that you're not thinking that causes a fatality.
The stadium team has their own accident to deal with. This mangled chunk of metal was dropped from the roof and fell all the way down to the stadium floor. Wow, I gotta find out what's going on here. This morning on the Arizona Cardinals' new stadium project, just after the start of the 6 a.m. shift, there was trouble. This custom-made tool fell 200 feet from the roof.
You gotta be kidding.
No.
This morning?
Yeah. 10 minutes ago.
It fell in the taped-off no-walk zone, and no one was hurt.
We're talking about a lot of money. Corey.
I'm letting Corey.
Yeah.
The accident was scary, but there was something more going on here.
They need to make it go away because it's ridiculous.
And it seemed to put everyone just a little off their game.
You need to be here every day. I've told you that 1,000,000 times. What do you mean you had a problem? You've got a problem. Nobody else on the job has that problem. That stuff's out there baking and moving. It's supposed to. All right. Anything else? I didn't figure there would be. I'm done.
I got out of there before the crew chief started asking what I was doing there in the first place. There was only one way to figure this out. I had to go to the scene of the accident. The roof. My favorite place.
One of the things I like least about being up here is the bouncy floor.
It's a strong roof.
Oh, JT! JT, it's just so unnecessary.
There was a team hard at work on the roof rail. Unbolting, measuring, rebolting, and measuring again. Was the rail out of line? The roof rails are the iron tracks that carry the retractable roof. The first retractable roof ever to slide down the slope of a building, dropping 33 vertical feet over the 180-foot travel distance. The curving steel rails have to be perfectly placed to make sure the wheels rolling over them don't wear out over time. If the rails were too far out of line, the roof could jam. So, was the rail out of line? I had to ask.
Okay, so we just came all the way up here, and they don't want to stop and talk to me, but these guys are not sitting in an office cubicle. They're sitting on a roof right now. It's 110 degrees, and they're measuring the steel, and the steel is actually expanding in the heat as we do this. So as they measure it, they have to go as quickly and safely as possible. I respect that.
I did find out that the broken tool was a roll jig, a custom-built rig that tells the crew if the rail is running straight or at an angle. Finally, I found the man to explain the whole deal. J.D. Bynum, the job super for Unisystems. The firm that invented the unique system that will enable the roof to slide down the rail.
Yeah, what happened to the other jig, we had it set up this morning on the rail, and my man, he went to put his harness on because he's getting in the exposed area down there, and somebody was stepping across, hung their toe on it, and flipped it off, and it went to the ground. A couple of 100 feet, so it pretty much destroyed it.
How's it looking now?
Oh, it ain't good. It ain't good.
JD ran the job on the NFL's first retractable roof at Reliant Stadium in Houston. And he actually saved the roll jig from that job. Smart man.
And you had that just lying around the back of your truck?
I've kept this ever since then, from 4 years ago.
Lucky you had it.
Yeah. So we're just kind of going through and double checking and see if we can use it. So we're real concerned with what the roll of this rail is doing. And we got a certain criteria we got to meet to be inside the specs on it.
The specs call for the top of the rail to be perfectly parallel with the sliding roof, within 1/16 of an inch, 1 degree in engineering speed. 3 weeks ago, the jig measured the rail at 1.6 degrees off. That means the rail was leaning out. And the crew has been working ever since to get it back into tolerance. I got down off the hot roof and huffed over to the air conditioning comfort of Corey Anderson's office.
Basically, when they were first aligning those rails, they came up with 1.6 degree when they put that jig on there.
Corey is Hunt Construction's on-site engineer, troubleshooting every engineering issue on both the roof and the movable field.
So they were a little bit over.
Right. Then they worked on it for 2.5, 3 weeks straight, trying to shim it and make it perfect. So the last set of measurements that I got this morning, 1.6.
Which was?
The same exact dimension that we had before we ever even tried to align for railroad.
So you basically just ate 3 weeks of labor trying to fix a problem, basically exactly where you started from.
Exactly. This morning, the jig mysteriously got dropped and has been since decimated. So we're trying to figure out, well, how do we keep these guys working?
What all the iron workers are saying is that the standard set by Unisystems is unnecessarily strict. Because when you do the math, that 0.6 degrees that rail is out of tolerance works out to be no more than 1/27th of an inch.
The roll issue is something that an engineer wants. Trying to build a Rolex out of a sow's ear is my frank opinion.
That afternoon, the engineers from Unisystems' home office in Minneapolis agreed. The crew was able to build all the other rails to within tolerance, and Unisystems accepted the one rail at 0.6 degrees out of tolerance, a full 1/27th of an inch. Thinner than a credit card. The roof will slide like nobody's business. The guys went out that night to celebrate and asked me to come along.
Well, what are we going to do about Daniel?
Man, I don't know. He's nervous in there. I think we need to find him something in there.
Here's what we need to do. We're going to have to get him hooked up with somebody, and we're going to let Bill do that job.
Yes, sir. I can take care of that.
Architect? Yes. Travolta? Not so much. For a guy who's afraid of heights, I've done pretty well, climbing all over the Arizona Cardinals' new football stadium. From the movable field to the fiberglass and Teflon fabric that coats the roof, to the 28,000-pound seating sections, and the undulating steel skin that wraps the stadium. Now, there's just one more mountain to climb.
For me, as an architect, getting to come out here and...
My first day here, Jim Garrison, the general supervisor, took one look at me and thought he had me figured.
Well, drawing it and building it's a little different.
Jim, that JT, the roof fabric super, $100 that I would never get to the very top of the stadium. That's on top of the retractable roof, a full 240 feet in the air. That's on a whole other level than I was on before, on top of that white mountain in the background. JT took the bet. And now, I'm gonna win it for him.
You gotta do it, Dan. I got money on you now.
We did this before, we can do it again.
Oh, one more time, you'll be fine.
Nothing to it, right?
No.
I should have kept my mouth shut.
And that's the only way up, that ladder?
Several different ways up. That's probably one of the easiest.
And one needs a harness for this?
I would recommend it.
All right, let's put in the harness. Let's see what happens.
He's the man.
JT says that once you're up there, it's quiet, peaceful, much less scary than a lower roof.
Whoa! Stop right there for a moment. Go ahead and take your lanyard.
Tie in here? Hang on, I got a little... Got my arm? Alright. Now, what are we doing now?
I'm gonna walk you over here to this other line. Ball coming this way.
Oh my god, look at this. We are on top of the entire stadium.
Drag your feet like that on fabric.
Yeah.
Create static electricity. So you start feeling your arms come up.
Yeah.
Take your lanyard, touch it down, and discharge through that so you don't feel the shock.
I love that in addition to absolutely heart-wrenching heights, there's also like the chance that I might get a shock. Oh, I just got that shock.
Yeah, I shocked you, sorry.
All right, so what are these guys up to?
These guys are actually doing some of the welding. This is where they actually heat seal this together, make it watertight.
So this is that last bit to make sure no rain gets in?
Correct. And you got to cover all these lines up with it.
It's like you're sitting looking at the curvature of the earth.
Pretty much. Looking over the horizon here, you can call it. Just be very careful. These irons are running at 700 degrees.
What? Don't touch that thing.
It's actually unplugged right now, but it may still be hot.
Don't touch that, I believe you. I don't want you to lose a
You
hand
can step
up here.
right over it.
I'm in sight of the summit, but it's still an uphill climb.
If you're standing on the ground, you can see 7 miles. Up here, you probably see 10. This is where you're actually 240 feet.
Oh man, we're good here. Whoa, 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 getting pulled.
You're tied into the building. You're not going anywhere. This is the highest point of the roof.
This is where the two pieces meet. This is the 50-yard line.
Yes.
This space is the space where you look down. That's the slot. You're looking down the entire field. Yeah! It's made JT $100. I did it. When you get to the top, I saw JT put his hand out, pulled me up, and I felt fine. Being around guys up here who know what they're doing make you feel safe. Thanks, man.
Proud of you.
I could not have done it without you, I promise you that.
Climb, you stadium!
Yeah, go down and out. I want you to do it
Down and out that
I want
way?
to keep you on the run. No, that would be in. Go. What's the bet? Oh, man!
You hit me in my hands, Kurt.
Okay, sorry. Sorry. You're one of those chess guys. All right, go. What's the bet on this one? I'm betting he catches this one. There it is. Do the dance. Do the first down dance. Okay, that's not how we do it in the sun here.